Emma, how are you doing today?
I'm feeling so energized after those roundtables yesterday. We have some amazing young leaders with us.
Oh, that's awesome. And there's so much more. So the Boardwalk Dialogue starts today. We're going to focus in on the issues of climate change, conflict, and COVID-19 and how they intersect with hunger issues.
For now, let's go talk to Professor Morgan.
Oh, hey, you guys are back. Welcome. It's me, Professor Morgan. Today's breakdown, we're talking about the 3 C's: COVID, climate change, and conflict, and their direct impacts on food security around the world. I heard so many of you guys breaking it down yesterday in your roundtables. Well done. Now that you've all had a chance to take a look at the big picture and to dig in some of the specifics of how food security, agriculture, and poverty outcomes are playing out in countries around the world, let's get a little more specific on those 3 C's and their direct relationship to food security. COVID impacts, supply chain, food costs, the loss of livelihoods from folks not being able to continue working. Conflict impacts. We've seen political instability around the world. In 2021, the Economist Intelligence Unit estimated that the percentage of people in democratic country is well below 50% of the global population, and that authoritarianism is on the rise. What does that mean for us? What does that mean for food security? Without free and fair elections, without a commitment to human rights, civil liberties, without functional and predictable governance, broad political participation, and healthy political culture and discourse, we see rises in civil unrest, increased inequalities, and a lack of ability for us to hold leaders accountable. Anti-democratic movements also lead us to civil wars and even to interstate conflict. Which leads us to one other component of that C, conflict. We're seeing armed conflict happening in areas around the world like the civil war in Ethiopia, and like interstate armed conflict in the Ukraine. Instability like this not only has impacts in the country where the conflict is happening, but has wide-ranging and knock-on impacts around the world. Instability in the community of nations, in particular in reaction to the Russian Federation's aggression and invasion, has had huge influences and impacts on fuel prices, on fertilizer prices, and ultimately what that means is that food around the world is costing more and that the people who need it most can't afford it. We also know that third C, climate change, is having an impact. Climate change is here. We're seeing incredible numbers of flooding in Pakistan, people, their entire houses, their entire communities underwater. Here in the United States, a place where we don't think about having huge impacts by climate change, in the state of Mississippi, the capital city, Jackson, people there don't have access to clean water. They can't take baths. They can't drink from the tap. You know, something I think, especially for the students from the United States in the audience, really we take for granted. We also know that extreme heat, drought, fire, all of those things are happening around the world. Ocean encroachment. And any of those 3 C's would on their own have huge impacts on food security. But we know that these variables influence and in some cases exacerbate each other. As food security is increased due to these 3 C's, anti-hunger organizations like the World Central Kitchen have tried to mitigate the impact. In this video, learn more about what they're doing after devastating floods and conflict.
We're going to bring a plate of food to as many people as we can, as quick as we can. And this is a very simple idea that can never ever be lost.
There's 2 just in case.
I appreciate it, sir.
We are providing meals for all the first responders that are out here in DC, helping to keep the nation's capital safe.
We're here distributing hot meals to communities that have been impacted by the storm.
Over 10,000 meals a day here in Austin.
I am up on the east coast of St. Vincent. You can see from this car what's happening here.
We've got over 90 locations, lunch and dinner. Whatever the need is, we'll be there.
It goes to the doctors, it goes to the nursing staff, it goes to their housekeeping staff, and it goes to the staff who's working their ward.
إلا إني كمان بازدياد قادرة إني أساعد وأعطي الناس مش بس في وجبة الطبيخ تعبي وعرق جبيني إني مساعدة كمان إني أساهم وأساعد في الناس.
There is ongoing activity to clean up after the floods. but there's no electricity in the area.
The amount of events happening from fires, hurricanes, has exponentially grown.
Trying to get food to folks that have been evacuated, to the fire crews and emergency workers that are working around the clock.
We had to help rebuild, and rebuild helping with things that were sustainable.
Our central kitchen, we've been coming here now for a few days, and then we keep finding other communities all around the different routes we take.
We are at the head of a motor taxi convoy that is full of hot meals, which we are going to be taking up into the mountains.
Our central kitchen will be here until we feel that the men and women of Louisiana are taken care of.
Thousands of individuals have come across from Mexico, families, children.
People don't leave their homes unless they absolutely have to.
This volcano is super active. Take a look here at all this destruction.
There's so many things you're thinking of when something like this happens, and that's definitely a need that you need met, water and food.
Out of every bad moment, you hope that something good happens.
That fell from the sky.
Yeah.
I want everyone to be happy, be safe, have healthy foods and take care of themselves. We want to just pass this moment, this tough moment, you know. I want a happy world again.
Wherever there's a fight so that hungry people may eat, we will be there.
Thank you, Professor Morgan, for breaking down the 3 C's and helping us better understand how we can address hunger issues.
Now we're going to check in with our favorite ag specialist, AT.
Thanks, John and Emma. Hi, I'm AT, and this is Ag Innovations. I'm going to talk about Kiva today, which is a small micro lending business. It started in 2005, and it's a nonprofit where people can lend as little as $25 to help people all around the world. In 77 different countries, your money can go to help women start their own business, students get educational funds, or farmers buy the equipment they need to be successful with their farming business. So far, over 2.1 million people have invested in loans through Kiva. It's not a donation, it's a loan. So when the money comes back to you, you can turn around and give it to someone else to help them build a better future. It's a process of mutual respect, and you're helping people maintain their dignity by helping them build a business from the ground up.
I don't think anyone wakes up in the morning and says, you know what I would like to do today? I would love to make a microloan. But I do think there are many people waking up in the morning saying, you know, I want to do some good for someone today. I want to help someone else out. Kiva is a platform online where anyone can go and lend money to anyone else. And the really cool thing is that you can lend a very, very small amount of money, and lots of people can come together, and all of that money adds up into a loan that can change someone else's life. Each Kiva loan begins with a dream or an opportunity that someone wants to pursue. It could be a taxi driver in Hyderabad, and they're driving around in their car, and the car is not running so well, so they decide, hey, if I could get some funds, I could update my car, I could be earning more money, I could be giving my passengers a smoother ride. And Kiva links these people who have that dream or want to pursue that opportunity up with other people who can lend them that money. The really, really cool thing with Kiva is we focus on choice. You can tell us what's important to you, and we'll make sure the money gets exactly there. So you might be thinking about refugees. You might want to focus on women or small business owners of color. It's all about empowerment. Borrowers suddenly feel incredibly empowered and have a sense of independence. It's not the kind of typical hierarchy that emerges with charity, because it's not a donation, it's a loan. Kiva's been going 15 years this year, and there's some incredible milestones that have happened along the way. For instance, in 2006, the community had funded over $1 million in loans to women. Now, what's really cool is by 2019, the community had funded $1 billion in loans to women. So what's next for Kiva? My sense is we have this incredible offering. Let's honor that by building the most incredible experience visually and experientially, so people can engage with Kiva, can make loans, can borrow money much more effectively. Kiva is just across the bay in San Francisco. And there's this idea in San Francisco, particularly in tech, that we try and solve big, broad, almost systemic problems. And we tend to call these moonshots. They solve problems, but they don't bring immediate solutions. What is exciting to me at Kiva is that we get to work on the issues that people are facing today. We get to help out real people who are facing real problems. And ultimately, over time, this also gets to speak to the systemic issue as well, which is financial empowerment, enabling people to have agency and choice through capital.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ah,
Bam. Thank you, AT. That was wonderful.
Now we're gonna head to the chef studio for What's Cooking with Austin.
Hey, welcome back with What's Cooking with Austin. I'm your host, Austin Castillo-Leovon, and you may have just seen me pull something out of the fridge. I have some sliced apples and some cubed cheese to snack on for a little bit. I'm here and I'm very happy to share with you another sustainable cooking recipe. Before I do that, we do have a message from another celebrity guest, Evelyn Garcia. You may have seen her on Top Chef Houston, or you may have been to a restaurant in the Houston area. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, I'm Chef Evelyn Garcia from Top Chef Houston. I'm also the chef and co-owner of Kin HTX, and I have June by Kin, which will be a restaurant here in Houston opening this year. I currently, with Kin, we do event production, pop-ups, and dinners. We do quite a few here in Houston as well. It's really allowing us to travel around town, meet really cool people, and go to different states as well. Which is really exciting and awesome. I thoroughly love cooking, so it's really cool to be able to, not only have my career, but really be able to travel and meet awesome people along the way. I know you guys are just starting the school year. Good luck. I hope you guys have an awesome year. I know this is going to be for the Global Youth Institute, which is an amazing organization, and I think it's so cool that you guys get to be part of it. I hope you guys have an awesome year. I'm being asked for a little cooking tip, and I would think my go-to cooking tip, honestly, would be to really save any protein fats when cooking. I think, other being chicken fat, beef fat, pork fat, if you save those, whatever dish you're working on next, I think it's really going to develop and give you a deeper flavor off the bat. So I think that's always a good base and a good start place. So yeah, I just hope you guys have a wonderful year and enjoy it all, honestly. Bye.
Welcome back. I hope you all enjoyed that message from Evelyn Garcia. I know I did, and I'm excited to move on to this next segment of sharing with you a sustainable cooking recipe. For today's recipe, we have jollof rice with crab salad and crab custard. There's 4 main ingredients within this dish. You have jollof sauce, crab custard, crab salad, and you have rice. I know there's a lot of ingredients. Seems a little scary, but I promise you, it's totally worth it, especially when you clean that plate. That's what makes it sustainable. You can find all these ingredients in the global section of your market, or if you don't have them there, you can check online. Jollof is a staple and culturally important dish. This is a great example of how eating traditionally can help us be more sustainable. All right, until next time, let's roll out.
Thanks, Austin and Evelyn. John, what else are we doing in GYI today?
So we are doing so much. We have 2 amazing speakers for a panel focused on the 3 C's. Allie Berman from the Kroger Foundation, and then Ozma Latif, who is an anti-hunger advocate. They're going to be talking about the 3 C's and ways that we can mitigate their impact. We're also going to focus on our group projects and have some time to work on them today.
And today at the Borlaug Dialogue, we'll be having a roundtable on the triple C's and how we can recover, regenerate, and rejuvenate our food system.
All right, let's go.